What we do here is go back.
How's it going, everyone, and welcome to episode 29 of the Lost Media podcast. Today we're talking about Gibby, a spin-off to iCarly. Only a pilot was made, and this never eventuated to become a TV series, obviously. There was the race between Gibby and Sam and Cat to see which one will become an actual TV show on Nickelodeon. And as you can obviously tell, the rest is history. Sam and Cat became an incredibly successful TV show, launched the career of Ariana Grande, and Gibby was left in the dust with one episode. Guys, Gibby could have been Ariana Grande. Gibby could have had the career that Ariana Grande had. You never know. I actually feel really bad for all the people that are involved in the making of a pilot episode that never eventuates into a television show. It must be the worst feeling in the world where people tell you, look, we filmed this episode and you're a huge success on iCarly and you've done that whole series, but this is not going to happen. This is not a thing. That would be pretty tough for an actor, and I can't imagine the guy who acted as Gibby has gone on to do much. In fact, I've never heard of this character or this actor before in my life. Guys, I didn't grow up with pay TV in Australia. That's what you needed to watch Nickelodeon and to watch any of these TV shows from the US. I never saw Sam and Cat or iCarly when I was a little kid, and I definitely didn't see Gibby. In fact, no one saw Gibby. Gibby was kept in Nickelodeon studios forever, never to be released to the public, because as we saw with the Drake and Josh unaired pilot, Nickelodeon, like most television studios, has a history of not releasing their pilot episodes. A lot of TV shows include the pilot as part of the series, especially when the series is a success. But with Nickelodeon, even if the series is a success, their pilots become buried, and their unaired pilots, the very first thing recorded to do with the show, doesn't get released. If you guys don't know, which is totally fine, a pilot is designed to entice the people who are, I guess, the deciders of which TV show is going to make them money and which is not. And they watch the pilot and they go, oh, is this going to get us a lot of viewers, and is this going to become a hit? And if they think it is, they go yes. And if they think it isn't, they go no. And between Gibby and Sam and Cat, I think they made the right decision, because you look at how hugely successful that was as a TV show. But I feel bad for Gibby. Gibby deserved his TV show. I must say that this was actually brought up to be my co-host of my co-host on the On We Talk podcast, not the Lost Media podcast, on the On We Radio YouTube channel. Matthew Winter suggested this one to me on the actual podcast. I think it's on a paywall podcast though, so you got to subscribe to On We Plus to watch that one. Please do. But he gave me the idea to look at this, and I just immediately from hearing Gibby, I thought, oh no, oh dear. The plot is centered around this iCarly character, Gibby, and he's basically, in the show, he gets detention after bringing a weasel to class. Oh, the hilarity. He's brought a weasel to class, guys. Wow. And there he meets 4 children that are getting bullied by a mean kid. I'm definitely not reading this off a screen. And Gibby helps them. He helps the kids that are getting bullied in detention. Isn't that such an annoying trope of TV shows and movies? Getting bullied in detention. They start to hang out with the Bixby Re-Center. Oh, that's where they're hanging out. And there they also befriend Philip, a Bixby employee. Guys, as I've said in multiple episodes, Nickelodeon stuff, plots for shows, mainly plots and premise for shows, I am so bad at reading them out. See, I can't even English right now. I cannot read out the premise for a show that never was made, because it's so foreign and so non-existent to me in my brain. I'm better off talking about how something can be found than reading off the plot to a show that never eventuated and just some weird episode description for something I never got to see, because Gibby never reached Australia. I never got to see pay TV. It never worked for me. It's such a shame. It's a huge shame. I just remembered in a previous attempt to record this, I related Gibby's career to Ariana Grande's career, and it was much better the way I delivered the joke than it was at the beginning of this, so I'll include that at the end. But I do want to talk about how the script for Gibby was found. Someone actually eventually apparently won a Nickelodeon contest where you get the script to Gibby if you win the contest, a trivia contest, and he didn't want to share it with the public in fear of getting, sued by Nickelodeon or having some copyright issues. And then he sold the script. Someone, a subreddit user from iCarly, contacted him and he sold the script to that person, and that person released the script. And that's how the Gibby script got released. And there's also screenshots that have been uploaded by Dan Schneider. He's been uploading stuff that's like clips from these Nickelodeon pilots, from the Drake and Josh pilot, and screenshots from this, and maybe he'll eventually upload clips from the Gibby pilot as well. This has a very similar trajectory and very similar story to how the Drake and Josh unaired pilot went from being mythos to an actual thing where clips and screenshots were released, or not just screenshots. I think it started as screenshots like Gibby, and then eventually became clips. So this one might have clips released eventually one day, but I think because it's not associated to an actual successful TV show, there's a lot more copyright issues and a lot more issues with Nickelodeon higher-ups when you release stuff that never became something that was a successful property. They don't want their tests, their little lab rat TV shows, to be revealed to the public and released. This would only ever have clips though, because Dan Schneider is probably the only person who is in possession of any clips. If I didn't mention the previous, or obviously I haven't mentioned it now, if you don't remember me mentioning the previous episode, Dan Schneider was apparently involved in a lot of misconduct and just being a pain in the ass to work with at Nickelodeon. So I think it's worth pointing that out. Even though he's releasing a lot of stuff to do with these TV shows, according to a lot of people, he allegedly was a massive creep in the way he planned out these shows, obviously. Hint, hint. And he was a pain in the ass to work with. Just throwing Dan Schneider under a bus every time. But this is, widespread news at this point. But like I said, it's an awkward thing for this actor, I think the guy who played Gibby, to be reminded about this. I mean, the longer he goes on in the industry, he'll probably just be reminded about this every now and then. What happened to Gibby, the TV show? And that would drive him nuts, especially as an adult. That wouldn't be easy, especially considering, it's a meme at this point. It's obviously a big joke. And I don't know if it's easier it probably makes it so much worse for the people involved in this show anyway if clips are released by Dan Schneider, because he's the only person that can release them. He's the only person who had any screenshots or any images of this show, and they've all been playing behind me so far, and any clips or promos associated with Gibby. There might be clips from Gibby. I'm actually still not sure if there's video footage from this pilot that has been released. Or a promo of some sorts, or promotional material used for Nickelodeon inside their industry, in the closed walls of Nickelodeon. So it's look, people have a huge interest in this stuff because, of course, this character was on iCarly, and they, want to see what eventuated. It's like a kid's version of the Joey Show. That's actually not a bad comparison. The spin-off to Friends titled Joey, this is the same fucking thing, except for kids. And the hit that iCarly was for kids, and this character was, I guess, a hit. I don't think he was, because the fact that this had one episode produced and was obviously just one of those beta test things, I think there was a lot of misinformation, a lot of not really reading the show from Nickelodeon execs, because I don't know why Gibby of all characters gets a spin-off show. Guys, I should reiterate again, I didn't watch iCarly when I was a kid, didn't get to, but I do know a little bit about it and its characters, a little bit, tiny amount, but it makes more sense for Sam from iCarly to get her own spin-off show. I think Sam and Cat was like a continuation of that character. I don't know. People can roast me in the comments for how little I know about this shit. I did not grow up with this stuff, which I've said about 40,000 fucking times. Anyway, Gibby, what more can you say? Will it be released by some random? Does some random have a copy that worked at Nickelodeon? Is there any Gibby? We want a bit of Gibby in our lives. That's basically all there is to it. I would read out the script to this show on the Lost Media podcast, but I don't want to put myself through a lot of pain. So you guys can find it though. It is online. It's widespread. And you can read through what Gibby would have been like, how hilarious it would have been, how great that laugh track would have been to all the lines in the script. In fact, someone should read out the Gibby script like it's a horror movie and read it in a creepy voice with creepy music in the background. That'd be good. Because I don't imagine, and make it especially creepy, make jump scare noises where crowd laughter reaction should have been in this pilot. That'd be good fun. That'd be great. This is so stupid. Thanks for watching, guys. That's all there really is to it. I've got another one coming out today that is a big Lost Media podcast. It's one of the ones I've done the most research for, I think. So it should be good. It's not about something that is lost or about something that is partially found. It's something that actually didn't ever exist. So technically still lost? Not really. But enjoy, guys. I'm going to keep making these for as long as I possibly can. It's either until I get another one that's semi-viral, like a spike in views, or it's until I burn out, or it's until I get to a number of podcasts where I'm like, this is a good start to the channel. We'll just stop here and then we'll, I guess, review what we can do with this channel going forward. But I'm loving the support. It's awesome. Keep subscribing, keep commenting, keep liking, all that jazz. Goodbye, guys. Gibby. Here's some behind the scenes garbage. And the rest is kind of history because Sam and Kat launched Ariana Grande's career and Gibby could have been Ariana Grande, guys.